Welcome to a new series. It's called A Run at a Time. It's where you watch me, a bad TFT player like you, learn how to play TFT one game at a time. It's gonna be bad. Chat can backseat me as we need to go, but we're gonna see how high we can climb. For funsies, mostly. I've been playing a lot more TFT lately. Today is an extra special day to start a new series because there's a new set out. Well, not a new set, but there's like a new patch. We only play ranked. There's no unranked casual TFT in this chat. I looked at the patch notes briefly before the patch came out. I'm not really good enough at TFT to be good at interpreting patch notes, but I have a vague sense of what might be good and what might not be good now. You were watching BoxBox and CDog play and had no idea what was happening. Well, great news about what this series is also going to do. I'm going to try and basically explain my thought process behind just about everything I do. That doesn't mean they're the right decisions. I make a lot of bad decisions, but hopefully that'll make it a little less intimidating to try and get into TFT, because I think this game is fun, and I think it's one of the worst games to possibly try and learn how to play. Absolute nightmare. This is the carousel. This is probably the worst explained part of Teamfight Tactics in the entire game. Pretty much everything else you can mouse over to get information, except at this window, this scene, this stage, I guess. And it is one of the most important stages. But basically what happens there is there's a carousel of characters, all the same characters that you can get from the shop, and they all have an item attached to them. And you get one, in the first carousel, everybody gets unlocked at once, and then later on it's based on who has least health, the most health. Generally speaking, when I'm doing the carousel, especially the first one, the character doesn't really matter that much, because I'm not deciding what my team is going to look like right there. I'm more worried about the item. The item is more important. So every item has different stuff. This is a BF sword, so it has plus 10 attack damage. You can see already, like, the interface is a little better once you're actually playing the game. I generally pick attack damage items or attack speed items to start, just because I find they're usually, like, universally good. They make good items, because you can combine items into other ones, much like you can in regular League. I'm going to take a brief pause here to perform a few maneuvers. That looks fine. So now I'm going to sell my champion that I picked up at the carousel, because I don't really care to have Caitlyn right now. And that'll get the item off of her and allow me to put it onto another character later. I'm not actually going to put it on anybody right now. When those 3 windows popped up, that's kind of like a seasonal thing that they're doing right now, although it sounds like they're going to do it next season as well. It's called an augment. Has like a fun little thing. The 3 that you're offered change from game to game. Mine I picked affects Hextech champions. So every character that you buy from the shop has at least 2 traits. This guy, for example, Nocturne, he's Hextech and Assassin. And on the left, you can see all those traits. No, you can't, because the webcam's in the way. Okay, now you can see the traits on the left-hand side. You get bonuses for having multiple champions of the same trait. So, like, I have a 2 Assassin bonus right now, because 2 of the guys that I have on the board are Assassins. So that gives them a bonus. In this case, for Assassins, it's crit chance and crit damage. All the traits have different little bonuses. How many you need to start getting a bonus changes. Usually it's 2 to 3 though. And then they usually scale up by 2s. So like 2, 4, 6, or 3, 5, 7, or something like that. Right now, I'm basically just playing to survive. Because there's not a lot that I'm specifically going for right now. I'm actually going to swap this guy so I get the Hextech too as well. On the left down here, there's a little dragon egg. That's brand new as of today. You get an egg at the beginning of the game. It has a turn timer attached to it. Everybody gets the same size egg, but the contents aren't always the same. how big it is and how long the turn timer is determines what's inside it. So because we had the really small one there, we just get this thing called a Tome of Traits. Basically just lets us get a little item to put on somebody that will make them something they aren't. So you can make a non-Hex Tech champion Hex Tech or something like that. In the early stages of the game especially, losing's kind of okay. We're trying to do something right now called Generate Econ, which is every round, at the end of the round, you get gold, based on a few factors. The two most important ones, really, are, and you can actually mouse over this and see this, that's what I'm doing right now. You get 1 gold if you win. You get something called interest, which means for every 10 gold that you have, you get 1 extra gold per round. So interest is really important. The goal is to kind of get to 50 gold, and then usually you could try and maintain around there, because that means you're getting an extra 5 gold every turn, which is quite a bit of gold. And then passive income of just 5 gold on its own. You also get gold for streaking. So if you have a 2 to 3 win or loss streak, you get +1, 4 is +2, 5 and up is +3. So earning gold, especially in the early stages, is a big part of the game. You have a lot of health, and health is a resource. So like, it's okay to take damage at the start of the game in favor of generating econ, not spending a ton of money. You can always refresh the shop for 2 gold, but generally speaking, especially early game, you try and avoid that as much as you can, just so you can get to the 50 gold econ threshold faster. I'm going Hex Tech. I have a sword right now, and I think I want a bow. No, I took too long. Shouldn't have gone back. That's okay. We'll take the crit glove. It takes a few games when you're learning TFT to be able to do this carousel round really effectively, because you have to basically know all the champions. So there we got Shogath. You got to know all the champions and the items on site. The helpful part of that is that, like I said, especially in the early carousels, the champion doesn't really matter. You're mostly going for the items. Can I speak for a moment on any small, cute characters in this game? Sure. There are a series. It's an adorable race. I'll have a YouTube video on it eventually. There's an adorable race of tiny little guys called Yordles. We love them. Can't get enough of them. Corky's a Yordle. He's down here. Poppy is also a Yordle. They're pretty cute. And they're pretty good. I actually like building Yordles a lot of the time. I don't think they're very strong right now. They are in, like, really low ladder. Because the Yordles will... The Yordle trait is at 3 Yordles. You get 1 random Yordle at the end of every combat, player combat. So you just get a lot of extra money and units, which is sweet. I'm still just econing here. Generally, the rule for me is you want to be... When you're doing like a standard build, there's tons of ways you can manage your econ. There are some times when, like, as soon as you get to level 6, you basically just start re-rolling, because most of the champions live in a certain threshold. All the champions have like a rarity. Gray, green, and blue you can see in my shop right now. But there's also purple and gold. And depending on what level you are, you have a different % chance of getting any given rarity. So like right now at level 4, 55% chance that a champion's going to be common, 30% chance of uncommon, 15% chance of rare, so on and so forth. As you level up, the chance shifts. So sometimes you might like roll at level 6 or level 7, because most of the champions you're looking for are in the uncommon tier, or in the rare tier, for instance. So you kind of want to try and float in that range. But generally speaking, my standard econ practice is like, I'm trying to be level 6 by 3-2, which up at the top of the screen, you can see where we're at in stages. Every so often there's player combat. You can also see when we're doing what's called a shared draft, which is the technical name for the carousel. And then you have also monster combat, which is what we're doing right now. I might actually lose because I haven't been paying very... No, we're fine. Where you basically just fight monsters and they give you items. So like both of these guys are going to drop some kind of item for me here. That guy there. So we got a belt. We'll see what we get out of this guy. And that one had 3 champions in it that we don't care about at all. We're just going to sell all these guys. See, so now we have 65 gold. So now we're actually like pretty safe to spend gold until we're right around that 50 mark. So, like, I'm going to dump that much gold. Every 4 gold you spend gets you 4 experience. You can't, like, spend small amounts. You have to spend 4 at a time. Basically, I can dump a bunch of gold to level up there, which is what I did. I'm going to put Morgana in, just to have a 5th champion in there. Generally speaking, I'm trying to be, like, 6 by 3-2, 7 by 4-1, 8 by 5-1, somewhere in that kind of range. Depending on what kind of comp I'm going for, like I said. Which I truly don't know right now. I think I want to build Hextex. But I'm not seeing a lot of the champions that need to build Hextex, and at a certain point, you're kind of on a clock. You got to decide what you're going to do. We're not there yet. We still have tons of health. Like, at 90 health, I can afford to stall and wait it out. But if we don't start seeing some of the people that I actually want soon, we're going to have to think about an alternative path to victory here.
Wanna kill me? Get in line.
It's probably not going to be Syndicate. I'm going to put Senna in instead. Senna has a trait called Socialite that basically highlights one spot on the board, in this case, this spot, and it gives the person bonuses depending on how many Socialites you have. So 18% bonus damage for first Socialite, and then some mana, and then some healing, and then all the bonuses doubled. See, so this guy, this Rek'Sai has a mercenary emblem on. That's what this Tome of Traits is holding right now. So it'll give me four options for emblems that I can then stick on somebody. Damn, that was close. Did I forget to spend gold last round? I did. I should stop talking. I shouldn't, but... your units start combat in the back 2 rows. If I'm building Hextex, that's not really going to be me. Units without items equipped restore 5 mana per second, or units heal 400 health on kill. These are all kind of math to me right now. I'll probably just take the roll to hunt. There we go. Just dump a bunch of gold for now. Now we have Hextech 4. So now, instead of the Hextech bonus, basically gives all Hextech champions shields. At 2, I had 100 shield and 15 magic damage. Now I have 4, so I have 150 shield and 30 magic damage instead. So that's kind of how the traits scale themselves up. I sort my bench based on what items I plan on building. I'm probably, honestly, going to end up building an Infinity Edge, just because Infinity Edges are mostly always good. And then these guys, this tier and this belt, I don't really know. This is as good a time as any. If you hold these guys over top of each other, you can see what they build into. So an Infinity Edge is a BF sword, which is this item here, and the sparring gloves together. And if I put them both on a champion, they combine. Once they combine, you can't uncombine them for the most part. There's an exception to that, but not an important exception unless it actually comes up. This guy got a Socialite emblem, so he's actually getting that highlighted tile. I believe the Socialite tile is the same for everybody. I'm gonna take the belt. The belt on Sejuani is just fine anyways, so that's a pretty okay champion to have that on. I'll probably put her in. I have 2 of her right now. I'm gonna put her in. Actually, something we haven't talked about that's important to talk about now. Every time you get 3 of a champion, they combine into a stronger version of that champion. So for example, I'm gonna buy this Sejuani out of the shop right now, and they're all gonna combine into a bigger version of Sejuani. I'm gonna do the same thing for Talon, even though I'm not building Debonaires, so I don't really know why I did that, but that's fine. That's how you kind of make champions stronger over time. Generally speaking, you're trying to get some champion to level 3 as a distant end goal. Sometimes not that distant. He's got Hextech 3 maybe right now. He's also got a bunch of Hextechs. Everybody pulls from the same pool of champions. So if you see somebody going for the same things as you, it's kind of a moment to be like, uh-oh, that doesn't bode well for me. I actually don't really think we need to put Gnar in right now. It would give us Strike or 2 with Jarvan. Maybe that is better if we do this. I'll be level 6. We'll actually be level 6 a turn earlier than I usually am. Which is good, because we get access to more champions sooner. And I actually, building Hex Techs, I need to get to purple pretty quick, because, I guess I'm building Hex Tech Strikers, really. So, like, if I can get a bow and a Sivir, that would be good. I like the concept of Hex Tech. Hex Tech is like, in the League lore, it's basically them trying to take magic, because not everybody can, like, use magic effectively, right? It's basically them trying to take magic and put it in the hands of the common person. Which I think is a noble goal, if nothing else. And would mean that I could use magic, so. My kingdom for a bow. I want one bow. Yeah, it's like Ratatouille for magic. That's a perfect example. Maybe I'll use that when I have to talk about Hex Tech in one of those videos. We have a bit of buffer here. I kind of want to start rolling. But we have a lot of health still. Like, we can pretty safely kind of play it out. What we're looking for here, and this is just stuff that you, like, learn with time. There are a bunch of websites that you can go, like, find builds on. Meta TFT, I think, is one. tftactics.gg is another one. There's a spreadsheet out there that my friend Gary links me to, because I don't know where you find it, but he's always got the link to the spreadsheet for me. We love that. There are resources where you can go out and see, like, what carries are good and stuff like that. But just as you play more, you kind of learn who's at what tier. Okay. Now we're starting to get somewhere interesting, because I'm going to sell this, so we're at 50 for Econ still. I've gotten Aurelia, who is one of the people that I want if I'm building Sivir. We're going to sell this Tome of Trades. If I can get a Striker or a Hex... Oh, shit. I don't know which of these I want. I think maybe just Striker? If I have my way, I'm going to have 4 of each of these, is the problem. My mind's telling me Striker. Because you know what's... Yeah, you know what? I like this. Because now my team isn't relying on me getting a Sivir. I can put Jhin in instead. I would like to have a Sivir still, but it's no longer necessary. And I can put some good items on Jhin. Yeah. Okay. The plans... Folks, the plan's coming together. Jin's in. We're gonna put Aurelia in instead of Swain. That's gonna give us Striker 4. I don't know if I want Jhin in this... Jin's a sniper. I don't really want him in the Socialite Square right now. Put him there. We'll give him an Infinity Edge, because he's an attack damage guy. So him critting, we love. Just more chances to crit is good for him. We don't need the Senna anymore. We don't need this Talon. We don't need these Swains. We're going to be at 8 pretty fast, which is good for us. We want as many shots at getting purple as we can. You can see the amount of damage that Jhin is doing. So not only does, like, making your champions more powerful obviously make them stronger, but also just, like, rarer champions are stronger. So Jhin is very strong because he's an epic. Okay, that bow I want. So you can see I don't get my chance yet because there's 2 people with lower health, but I'm in the second row because it goes 2 at a time. They got the bow, hey? Another sword is fine. I think we're gonna just make Jhin our carry. God, I really wish I had a bow. Oh well. This would give Jhin Sniper 2. That'd be pretty good. And Zeri's pretty strong. I like that. I like that as a move. We're gonna sell this Aurelia. Because we want... I don't even know what you put on Zeri. It's probably just regular attack damage items. I just don't know if I want to use this BF sword. I might get a bow. I don't know if I want to use the BF sword. I guess, you know what, we can put this here. There's a chance we end up getting rid of this Zeri instead of putting, like, turning it into an item. Because we don't really need her. She's mostly just a good unit right now to give Jhin Sniper 2. Does Zeri get full striker benefit on every little bolt she fires? Oh, one sec. Get a striker emblem and a Rek'Sai. I'm not really going past striker forward here. I think I'm actually just going to take the components. No, I don't think she does. I don't know. I truthfully don't buy Zeri very often. Didn't get a bow. You love to see it. Yeah, I don't buy Zeri very often. Okay. We're at level 8 now. That's basically as high as we really need to be. So we're going to go for rolls now. And we're going to be looking very specifically for a few champions. We want Alistar. We want Sivir. Okay. Sivir's going to go in for Lucian. Alistar's gonna give us a better front line. That one we sort of just won because we had numbers on him, I think. Jin does a lot of damage, but like, wasn't that good. Okay, so the plan here right now, if I get a bow out of the Raptors, we're live, laugh, lovin'. If I get a bow out of Raptors, then we put a Rage Blade on Sivir. It's another glove. Good lord, hey, with the crit gloves. Hey! Become alive in the nighttime, folks. You love to see it. Okay. That's huge. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this. We're gonna put a Rage Blade on Sivir so she attacks faster when she attacks. Nocturne's out. Zeri's out. Alistar's in. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. Infinity Edge there. Kind of want these all moved over when I didn't do it in time. That's okay. I'd love to get to 9, which is weird. I'm not typically a 9 person. What did I buy another Zeri? I must have. I'm not typically a 9 person, but we're doing pretty well win-wise. Maybe I jinxed it. Maybe this is the... We did lose Sniper there, I guess. This person's also 8. Yeah, our team's a little stronger than ours. That's okay. 9 will let me put Zeri back in, which would be cool. Who do we not actually need in right now? Aurelia. I think we're gonna lose Aurelia to get Sniper back for now. And the game's like, oh yeah? You think you're gonna do that? Eat shit, Mike. That's what I was looking for. Another bow would be clutch. If we get another bow, we can put a Last Whisper on Sivir, and Sivir with a Last Whisper is pretty deadly, especially with like Jin, because she'll just let Jin crit through everything. We're not really at the point where we have to roll yet. I still would really like 9. I'm leaning forward because I'm in thinking mode, chat. Classic thinking mode, Mike. Yeah, but I think this carousel, now as I think about it, I think this carousel is the first full item carousel. So like, I actually really don't need to hold on to. I want that Jace really bad. I don't really need to hold on to the glove, any of it anymore. Okay, see now we can get Enforcer 3, so now our team comp's gonna change a little bit. I almost took the Sniper Emblem, because I could have put it on... I could have put it on Sivir. But I think I actually want Enforcers. I've decided. What do I actually lose here? I lose 1 Striker if I put that in. Yeah, you know what? We're not dying yet. We can hold off for a sec here. Attaboy Jin, light him up. Attaboy Jin, light him up! We love that for me. So, like, what are the odds I ever actually put Aurelia back in? I think it's 0. I don't think Aurelia's ever going back in. We have our 2 strikers here. The other 2 strikers aren't moving. I think we're selling Aurelia. 42 gold will level me to level 9. Is that another Alistar? Yeah, it is. He's kind of got Hex going too, so there is a little competition for this build right now, but... no, I'm not going to win this one. His front line survived longer than mine did. Okay. I got 1 more round in me, maybe, before I have to rethink my life. Ha ha! Ask, and you shall receive. Oh man, what a world. That's our last whisper. That's all we needed. Oh, okay. 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 You love it when a plan comes together, folks. Just like we fucking drew it up. Boom. Alright. Zeri. Smell you later. Oh. Oh. You love it when a plan comes together, folks. Oh, are we gonna lose this guy anyway? Maybe not. Oh no, Galio's gonna kick our ass. Okay, the other day, 3-star Galio. I was winning a match, and it was me and the last guy, and he 3-starred Galio on the. Oh, that was a death. That was a hard death. You know what though, team? That's okay. That's 4th place, and in Teamfight Tactics, 4th place is 1st place. Thank you for joining me on my inaugural episode of A Run at a Time. We played 1 successful game of TFT, 1 very laggy game of TFT, and 1 game of Hyperroll. I look forward to playing more TFT. And scene.